Hi, gang. Happy Monday. How's everybody doing today? It's beautiful down here today. Not too windy. Lots of fishing going on and lots of boats. If I'm not mistaken, it's striper season. Oh, speaking of boats, there we go. Yeah. You see how much calmer the water current is compared to last week? Well, one, the winds died down. And then these planets are moving again, so it's a little different in the energy. He's cruising. Actually, that's like the third or fourth one I've seen in less than 5 minutes. So they're out there fishing today. Somebody's going to have dinner tonight. I just had the best conversation with a woman too. She biked up here. We was talking about, I guess, down on the street in the bike, the wind a little stronger in some areas still. So, but when you stand here, it's not that bad. Here's another guy. See, like I said, lots of fishing going on today. They're having a good time. I hope your Monday's off to a good start. Okay, that's enough for me out there though, because I've been out there for a little bit because it was really nice, but the wind shifted. I had this really lovely conversation with this woman, and I don't know, pretty much gave her in a nutshell what I was coming down here, or what I was doing down here, or what I do down here, and why I love it, and so on and so forth. But anyway, I did just tell her, only because she had just said to me that someone in her family had just passed. And I said, oh, my condolences. And we talked about that for a minute. But I said, it's funny you should say that. I'm just getting ready. I said, well, I just made a message. However, I think it might be too long. I might get copyrighted. So I don't want to put it out. But anyway, Ribbon in the Sky by Stevie Wonder was the music. Basically, guy, what I said was about the red string of fate, and these things, these energetic things that keep us connected to folks, right? Even when they are no longer with us in the 3D, right? So for folks that have that melancholy about family members, as we all get and stuff, and friends that have passed that aren't here with us during the holidays and stuff, keep that in mind, that you are still always connected and tethered with them, okay? You are always connected. And hi, how are you? And I hope that gives folks a little bit of comfort, right? They're there. They are there. They want you to talk with them. They want you to communicate with them, But you have to be open to it. You have to be open to it. But anyway, the rest of the conversation was, and I told her basically the whole whatever, this message that's been coming and coming and coming for weeks now. And I kind of been putting it off. And then, I know when they want me to give a message because they are relentless with constantly bringing it back to me, right? So again, this morning it comes back again, all the info. So with that being said, I said to her, I'm going to give everybody a little lesson on monitoring spirits, right? And then not only that, someone else that I follow had said something the other day, and she mentioned monitoring spirits. I was like, oh, well, there's my confirmation. There's another confirmation. Oh, and there you go. You see, they don't want me to talk about it, collective. Oh, they don't want me to talk about it, but we're going to talk about it, okay? All right. Listen, monitoring spirits come in many forms, okay? But, I was out with my daughter and I went to have sushi, and, we're sitting there, And all of a sudden, here comes this gnat, right up all around my tea and everything. And I went, these monitoring spirits. And she started laughing. My daughter knows what I mean. And I just gave this lady another example. You know, for instance, I said, you know the saying, the fly on the wall? She said, I wish I could be a fly on the wall sometimes. I said, yeah, well, you know, people spiritually like to do that and monitor people. And that's how they'll come, like a fly, like a gnat. I said, but you got to keep it in perspective, right? When you're in, let's say you're in a bathroom with no windows, okay, and it's the dead of winter and there shouldn't be a fly around, and all of a sudden there's a fly in the bathroom with you. Monitoring spirit, okay? It's not, oh, there you go. Confirmation. Listen. Confirmation. I got you upside down. They don't want me to talk about this. Pay attention, gang. Okay? They come at times and places where they shouldn't be. It's out of place, right? You know it's not gnat season. There's no fruit around. There's a gnat. Monitoring spirit. Okay? Now, let's talk about the monitoring spirits that come in and out of your life in the 3D. Be it a friend, family, whatever. Right? They always got to know what's going on. They want every little detail. Pay attention. Pay attention. This is the person. The spirit's another thing, okay? All right. And let's talk about the ones that pay the monitoring spirits to come and be around you, to collect intel, or to keep you distracted, to try to keep you off the path or doing what you're supposed to be doing, right? Let's talk about them. They got paid. How about some of them got paid and went back and still lied, and then as a result of that, the payer went and did a whole bunch of other stuff based off of lies. Be careful of those monitoring spirits, right? I absolutely love it. You gotta love it. Pay attention, gang, okay? We live in a different world. People are showing their asses. Sometimes it's their spirit or their demon. If you don't believe in this stuff or you don't understand this stuff, then you're not ready for this stuff. Do your due diligence, do your research, do your learning if you have to, okay? But this is the world. It's been around forever. And these dark energies are being exposed and they don't like it. They don't like it, okay? So, they don't like when they get called out, and they don't like people speaking the truth and educating people. Use your own discernment. Make your own informed decisions, okay? Make your own decisions. You got to be careful. They come in and they push buttons and they plant seeds of doubt based on your fears and your insecurities and your fetishes and whatever. Anything that they know is going to push your button, they keep feeding that. The addiction, the whatever. Okay? So pay attention. Pay attention, because some of y'all got them around you and you think that's your bestie. That's your bestie. That's your brother. That's your sister. That's your family member. That's a this. No. No, because there's an underlying, be it jealousy, be it envy, be it they don't want the circumstances, be it misery loves company, and who's going to be there with them for they can dump their shit on you. Pay attention, okay? All right, I'm getting fired up because these energies are trying to stop things over here. We've been in a spiritual war for a really long time now. And if you guys don't know it yet, I'm here to remind you. Pay attention. Protect your energy, okay? The illusions are disappearing. Be safe, gang.